All right, White's faithful, gather round. What's happening at Elland Road right now is absolutely mental. And I'm telling you, this could change everything for our beloved Leeds United. We've got 3 absolutely massive stories dropping today that have got the entire football world talking, and trust me, you're not ready for what's coming. First up, we've got our gaffer making some seriously bold statements about a certain £25 million player who's been getting absolutely slated by some fans, and Daniel Farke is not having it anymore. The man's come out swinging, defending his player like a proper Yorkshire warrior, and what he's revealed will shock you to your core. But that's just the beginning, Whites, because we've also got news about one of our summer signings who's just done something that only 5 players have managed in the last 13 years of Premier League football. We're talking Eden Hazard levels of brilliance here. This lad is rewriting the history books at Elland Road, and the stats will blow your mind. And if that wasn't enough to get your blood pumping, we've got the story that could secure Leeds United's future for the next decade. There's a 16-year-old sensation who's got the entire football world watching, and Leeds have just 20 days to make the most important signing in years before the vultures start circling. So smash that like button if you bleed white, hit subscribe if you're part of the Whites army, and drop a comment telling me which story has got you most excited. Because what I'm about to tell you about our first revelation will have you questioning everything you thought you knew about this season. Ready for the first bombshell that's got Farke fighting like a man possessed? Let's dive in. Here's the first story that's got Elland Road buzzing. The name everyone's been whispering about, Brenden Aaronson, and Daniel Farke has just dropped the most passionate defense of a player I've heard all season. You know what, Whites? Our gaffer has had the NOUGH of the criticism aimed at our American winger, and he's come out swinging harder than a Leeds fan after a Derby County defeat. Farke's basically told the entire fan base to back off Aaronson, claiming that all the public slating is actually making the lad's decision-making worse in front of goal. Picture this scene, Farke in his weekly press conference, probably with that intense German stare we all know and love, defending Aaronson like he's protecting his own son. It's important not to be on the back of a player and put too much weight on his shoulders, he said, and you could hear the frustration in every word. But here's where it gets really interesting, Whites, because while everyone's been moaning about Aaronson's lack of goals, the stats tell a completely different story. This lad is actually 3rd in our squad for shots on target per 90 minutes. He's created the most big chances with 2. And get this, he's got the highest expected assists rate in the entire team. The American is working his socks off defensively too, leading our squad in successful dribbles and successful tackles per 90. Farke's made it crystal clear, what I want to see from a player who represents my shirt is definitely hard work. And this is what Brenden always does. He's comparing Aaronson's situation to Daniel James and Manor Solomon from last season, who eventually found their rhythm and started banging in goals left and right. The gaffer's message is absolutely spot on. As long as a player gives everything for the shirt and does his tactical job, he'll back them to the hilt. But Aaronson knows the deal too if he wants to cement that starting spot. Those offensive numbers need to improve, and fast. But this is just the tip of the iceberg, because what's happening with our next story will have you questioning whether we've found our new midfield magician. Ladies and gentlemen, meet Anton Stach, the German midfielder who's just done something that will make your jaws drop. To the Elland Road turf, this absolute wizard has just matched a record that puts him in the same conversation as some of the Premier League's greatest ever players. We're talking Eden Hazard, Alexis Sanchez, Santi Cazorla, proper legends of the game. And our Anton is right there with them. What's he done? Only become just the 6th player in the last 13 years to have more than 10 shots and create more than 10 chances in his first 4 Premier League appearances. The last time someone did this was James Rodriguez back in 2020, and before that, you're looking at Barcelona and Chelsea legends. Can you believe it, Whites? We've got a midfielder who's performing at the level of players who cost hundreds of millions, and he's doing it in a Leeds United shirt. Ilya Groove has been absolutely blown away by the standard Stach has set. And without Tanaka back in the mix, our midfield is looking absolutely tasty. The numbers don't lie either against Everton. This German maestro created for chances and had for shots, touching the ball 86 times like he owned the entire pitch. Against Arsenal and Newcastle, he was consistently creating 3 chances per game, showing the kind of creativity that gets fans off their seats. But here's the thing that's got me worried, and it should worry every Leeds fan. Stach had a quiet game against Fulham, and his stats dropped off significantly. He created just one chance compared to his usual 3 or 4. Got dispossessed twice for the first time this season and looked off the pace in West London. His pass accuracy dropped to 75%, and you could see the frustration building. Farke needs his midfield maestro back to his brilliant best for the Wolves game, because we need those Hazard-level performances if we're going to climb this table. The competition for places is heating up with Tanaka's return, and Stach knows he needs to bounce back immediately. But speaking of the future, our final story might just be the most important thing happening at Leeds United right now. Right, Whites, sit down for this one because Harry Gray, yes, Archie's little brother, is about to become the most important signature. Leeds United making yours. This 16-year-old absolute sensation just bagged a hat trick for the U21s against Scunthorpe in the National League Cup, and Daniel Farke's comments about him will give you goosebumps. The gaffer basically said if there's any manager brave enough to blood young talent, it's him, and his track record speaks for itself. Think about it, this is the man who replaced Luke Ayling with Archie Gray, who played Matteo Joseph ahead of Patrick Bamford and Joel Pirro. Farke's got serious pedigree when it comes to developing youngsters. From his days in 4th-tier Germany to working with Europe's best talents at Borussia Dortmund U21. But here's what makes this even more special. Farke has made it clear he won't even discuss Harry again until he's actually playing senior games regularly. He needs first-team training sessions to get used to physicality. He needs game time with the U21s to not lose his confidence. What he needs most is time and peace, the German said, showing just how much he rates this kid's potential. Harry's already made history by becoming the youngest ever Grey to make his senior debut, leapfrogging his older brother Archie in the record books. His goal-scoring form at U21 level this season has been absolutely remarkable, and you can see why scouts from every major club in Europe are taking notes. But here's where it gets crucial. Whites, Harry turns 17 in exactly 20 days on October 8th, and that's when Leeds can finally offer him his first professional contract. Until then, we're all holding our breath because the vultures are already circling, and we know how this story can end. We've seen it before. Finlay Gorman to Manchester City, Archie to Spurs for £40 million after just one season. The big clubs are watching, they're waiting, and they've got deeper pockets than us. But here's what gives me hope. Harry Gray loves this club with every fiber of his being. The moment that clock strikes midnight on October 8th, Leeds need to have that contract ready with all the bells and whistles, because tying down Harry Gray for the long term could be the smartest piece of business we do for the next decade. So there you have it, Whites. 3 stories that show exactly where Leeds United stand right now. Defending our current players through thick and thin, celebrating our new stars who are rewriting Premier League history, and securing our future legends before the big boys come knocking. What do you think? Is Farke absolutely right to defend Aronson against the critics? Are you as excited about Stach's record-breaking start as I am? And most importantly, do you think we'll manage to keep hold of Harry Gray? Or are we destined to watch another Gray brother slip through our fingers? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to smash that subscribe button if you want more Leeds United content. That hits different. Because at the end of the day, whether it's defending our £25 million American winger, celebrating our German midfield magician, or securing our future Yorkshire diamond, this is what being Leeds United is all about, isn't it?